A virtual assessment center is an assessment center where we don't have people coming to a physical venue. They simply interact online. Otherwise, the process is very much like a traditional assessment center. There have been a number of reasons why this change has probably not happened sooner. I think obviously one is just the connectivity and the bandwidth. It needed to get to a point where you could be certain that if you're conducting exercises online that the platform would be strong enough to have a seamless process. And the other one traditionally has been a concern about how do we ensure the identity of the person that we're assessing if we're only interacting with them remotely. So technology has taken care of the first problem, and technology has really taken care of the second part as well. We have a sophisticated image capture proctoring system where we know for sure that the person sitting at the other end is in fact the candidate that we want to assess. So the obstacles to the moving to a virtual assessment center have pretty much been eliminated. That gives us a lot of advantages. We don't need to bring a lot of people from various locations to a venue. The cost savings are vast. We don't need to have people, assessors and participants, missing days of work to participate in this process. We simply set it up as a virtual platform and people connect online quickly and efficiently from wherever they happen to be. So cost is one major advantage. The other is that it gives us a platform where we can integrate everything we know about the candidate. So you have the assessment center data, but you may also have interview data and other data points that you want to bring together, and the platform allows us to do that. And thirdly, from a candidate's point of view, it's probably a much more natural process. They don't have to come to a location and be put through a series of tasks and challenges. They choose when they want to do it. They make sure they have free time, and they simply dial in at their comfort level. And I think particularly for a younger group of candidates, it's to do things online is very much the natural way of doing things. So the feedback we have is that it works for all parties, and the cost savings are tremendous. So as we're in the business of conducting assessment centers, what concerns us is how to make them as rigorous and objective as possible. What we're doing essentially is giving candidates tasks to perform so that we can capture some behavior and assess it to tell whether competencies have been demonstrated or not. So what are the elements of making it rigorous and objective? I think one is you need to get the right exercises. These should be the tasks that we give the candidate should be interesting, relevant, exciting, if you like. So there'll be things like handling a difficult customer, perhaps handling a difficult subordinate situation, looking at a business case and evaluating it and making some judgments. So that gives us a platform of behavior which we can then assess. I think the elements to making it work really well are, one is you need the right assessor team. So you need people who are experienced, they can bring the right judgment to bear on the candidate's performance. We also give them documentation. I think this is very important, but we need to define what exactly each competency means and what behaviors would tell us whether someone is demonstrating that competency or not. I think that's a very critical element because it means all of the assessors are working from the same perspective. We have a concept called inter-rater reliability, which is, I think, it's really the crux of what we're trying to achieve here. We want any observer, any assessor to be able to see the same piece of behavior and reach the same conclusion. And that's ultimately the goal that we're working towards.